Such a weird lighting situation here. But hey, I think they both went up. Yes, we are on YouTube and IG. All set. Oh my goodness. I had to wake myself up. Happy to be nappy. Oh my goodness. Seriously, speaking of nappy. No, this is not the same nappy you're talking about. Oh, I had to take a nap. I just posted on my stories. I'm like, you know how sometimes when you're fat, you're afraid to be take a nap because people are going to say that you're lazy. Yeah, I'm not about that anymore. Speaking of healthy at any size, what was the other thing we're talking about? New beginnings. You know what? Sometimes a new beginning begins with a nap. Sometimes that was the profound philosophical reasoning that I woke up with. Yeah, sometimes it's the best new beginning you can have because you just need to recharge, you just need to take a break. Whatever that nap happens to be, some time off, a break away from a situation. You just need to step away. If you've got something that needs some life brought into it, one of the best things you can do, oh my goodness, naps are so good. They're so good for you. Hi, precious braids. How's it going? I am so glad to see you guys here. So I just like to do this on Wednesday nights at 10 o'clock Central and Sunday evenings at 6. And we may change those times, who knows, but this is the time that it seems to be working out for me. I like to just kind of come on here and chat and talk and say, hey, what's going on? Talk about the things that I enjoy talking about, which are life and beauty and makeup and hair and health and relationships. Have we talked about relationships? I think we have a little bit. I don't know. That sort of thing. So yeah, this is us. This is me. And eyeglasses. I like eyeglasses. These are from Zenni, and we're going to talk about some other Zenni, but these are not from the haul today. I had these before. And I showed these in my last, I think it was Sunday. I did that review of glasses that I like for spring because you need to have something to spice up your life. Why am I talking like this? I'm not Italian, but something to spice up your life, something to spice up your wardrobe, something to give it new life. Speaking of new beginnings, right? That's why I talked about new beginnings. Spring, I moved to a different climate, a new beginning of sorts. I don't know. I'm not super thrilled about the move, but hey, it happens. I went from the Caribbean to Minnesota. I mean, how great can that be? But that's okay. So this is fun. But yeah, speaking of new life, I got a couple of little goodies, and then I realized. Well, I didn't realize then. A couple months ago, I think it was. I walked into. I don't know if it was TJ Maxx or Marshalls or what, but I don't know if I'm going to try to stick this in my nose, but I walked in there and saw this beautiful little purse that was in periwinkle, and I went, "Oh, it's so pretty!" But me trying to be the responsible person I was trying to be at the time, I think I've shed that, objective. I don't know. I was like, nah, I don't need another purse, and so I didn't buy it. And now I'm obsessed with periwinkle. So this week, and I really don't have anything in periwinkle. I was thinking this week I don't have anything in periwinkle, so I saw this at Walmart. It's these sinful colors. So these are like the dollar something, $1.89 or something like that. A little guys, and I thought this is so cute. So I grabbed this. You see my nails right now, they really need to be redone. They're in honor of Easter, and I didn't redo them. So I also still have those ones from the Walmart beauty box, the little nail stick-on nails. I have not tried before, so because I'm too cheap for that too. I'll buy a bunch of nail polish because you can, how many times do you use nail polish? You never run out of it. And then I found this. This is just a little tank top. I mentioned this like a couple lives ago that one of the best things you can do to update your wardrobe is to go to Walmart to the where they have like the $3 something, 3.88 or whatever they are. Tank tops and stuff like that, and just pick them up in every color. But I was coming through, had to I had to pick something up that was actually important, and I happened to see this as I was walking towards the checkout, and I just grabbed it. I was like, yes, periwinkle. I've been looking for periwinkle. You can't really tell so much the color here because my lighting is, but whatever. And this shirt again is one of the men's shirts that I've been raving about because they're so comfortable and much better made than those shirts. So anyway, I'm excited about those. And then I realized that I had this too, which I'm excited about because this is going to be, along with these two, one of my eyeshadow 5-day one palette things. I decided to go with the three of these together because I thought that would make a palette for spring. So I've got the mint, the periwinkle bluish purple one here. That's the Acai. And then this is the rosewater one. So I just grabbed those three because I thought they were the most springy and that they would work together well. So yes. So what's up? Well, happy to be nappy was 45, was here. Great, awesome. Oh yeah, speaking of other stuff that I picked up, this is not periwinkle, but speaking of other new beginnings, spicing up my wardrobe. I didn't even take this out of the packaging yet. But this was originally $11, which is, or no, originally $16.98. Ooh, steep price there. I would normally not pay $16.98 for a purse because I am that cheap, unless I really loved it. If I really loved it, I would. If it was periwinkle, why am I obsessed with periwinkle now? It's just such a cool color. It's my color of the year. They should ask Priscilla what her color of the year is. Then I can be like, periwinkle, that's my color of the year. Anyway, this is this cute little mustard. I mean, mustard's been in for a minute, but it was $4.50. I thought, oh, that's cute, because the other one I've got is, I think I've shown you guys, it's like a darker purple. These are coming from the fall, of course, fall and winter. I don't care. They're just $4.50 and they're cute. Little bit of color. If they're colorful, they're gonna work with spring for the spring looks. And that's the thing, like with getting stuff, is you can get stuff off season and it still works for you. So if you mix it the right way. I was also thinking, like, for people like myself that are coming from the era beyond, like we have already lived through the 90s, like legit lived, like not even just, like not even when we were kids, but like when we were adults. And now we're reliving that in fashion. I'm like, we already went through it the first time. Now we're going to do it the next time. And the way to do that and not look frumpy, because in my opinion, when I see people my age, people who look my age who are, or older, who wear stuff from the 90s, like all dressed up from the 90s, they look like they're just wearing old stuff, but young people wearing it look like they're edgy and cool and cute and doing the vintage retro sort of thing. And so I feel like that you kind of have to just like mix a little bit of new with a little bit of vintage, and then that's how you kind of show your fashion sense. Because if you do all vintage when you are older, like us, then you just look old. Does that make sense? In my mind, it did. I stopped that. Actually, that's a lie. I did. Okay. So if you shop on Ulta, if you like to get little pretty things on Ulta to make your face all cute, and I don't really have. This is my post nap. Like I didn't even do anything except just like wipe off. I didn't take the makeup off when I went to take a nap or anything. So, Eba, how are you? So yes, Cool. I'm talking about girl stuff. This is gonna be fun conversation. Um, I like when my friends come in here, like my IRL friends, and they're like, "Hey, so what you doing? You doing a live?" And I'm like, "Yeah, I'm talking about makeup and clothes and fashion and all that kind of stuff." They're like, "Yeah, maybe I want to hang out," but it's kind of fun. So, Wendy Travis, Wendy Travis joined. Hello, how's it going? So, but yeah. Anyway, I went to Ulta, and if you like to go to Ulta, there's some ways that you can actually get kind of hack the system a little bit. And I'm still figuring out a little bit of that, but I got the app on my phone because they're always notifying us of sales. In fact, they had like a buy one, get one 50% on NYX. And I was like, man, I need to check out NYX because I feel like this is one of those drugstore brands that has some really good stuff that I should know about. But for me, when it comes to makeup, it's interesting because um makeup is I like it, like like makeup in general, but I don't want like I'm a little stressed because I've got 3 concealers. And I know that's crazy because there's so many people, especially in the land of YouTube. I'm not a real YouTuber. I'm a fake YouTuber. But I do this for fun. But I have 3 concealers and I'm like, oh my goodness, I'm kind of stressed. Like, how do I get through these? How do I use them all up? What do I pan one and then go to the other ones? Do I use the one that I like the most? How do I do that? And so that's kind of how I get when I have multiple of a face product or even like blushes. Like I just recently, well, I got this. Actually, I got a bunch of stuff. So I got this one. This one came out of the Ipsy, the regular Ipsy bag, the small one. This is the Milk Makeup and Work. That's a lot of people have been getting this. It's pretty cool. I've been putting it on whatnot. And then I had gotten this. This is the bite size. Let's see, bite size elf. And this is just the face duo, cheeky glow. The highlighter and blush duo. This is such a dark highlighter though. To me, it's just a blush topper. So I just mix them together, and they're both on the bronzy side. So I actually just use these kind of more as a bronzer. Um, but now again with that, and then I've got 2 more bronzers. Now I've got 3 bronzers, and I'm like, eh. But then I've got this that I got from Essence, which is the blush, and I really like this one. Um, there's not a lot of product in here though, so I'm thinking I should probably hit pan on this at some point because I don't have a ton of blush. But then I just picked this one up, which I showed you in the last one, which is a Profusion blush one. Love it. It's great, but there's all of these options. So now I've got 6 more blush options, and each of those is like a full-size blush. So I'm like, anxiety. What do I do with all this? And then I got some more. But this is kind of like different. Anyway, I didn't go into. Okay, so Rakuten. How do you call that? I don't know how do you call that? How do you pronounce that? How do you say that? So I've got it on my computer and I've also got it now on my phone. So I can shop through it because they do like this, if you shop through it, you get XYZ percentage off, which is kind of cool because then every few months they send you a little check and you're like, ooh, more money I can spend on pointless stuff, which is basically what we do, right? I mean, we could turn it around and put it in savings or like use it for a vacation or something like that, but we're not doing that. I don't know. Um, so anyway, I went on there and I was thinking about how much I loved the LA Girl palettes that I had and how they were $15 ish, maybe just over 15.99, something like that. Um, on there, and I was like, I should get those before they clearance them out. And so I grabbed this one. These are so good. So now I have the one that's like the VIP main stage, the purple, blue, green one. That was, I think it came out this year. Is the new one that came out this year? Yeah, I think it just came out for summer, right? So good. I want to get the other one, which is pink and yellows from that same set. So they come out in sets of two. The very first one, which is the Hot Hot Heat. I don't yet have that, but I did find where I can get it. I can get it on Beauty Bay, I think. They're a little bit higher there, but it's the only place to get them. And so I'm like, I want to get those. Or it's the only place legit that I have found to get them. But this is the one I just picked up. So you can see it still has a plastic on, but I just put this back on because to protect it and also because it has names on it. But it has a nice big mirror on here, which I really like. I also like that it's the hinges are a little stiff, so I can actually position the mirror. So it works for me because on the cardboard ones, they just kind of flop down, but this one I can stay in place. But this is such a beautiful one. This is the Pro Artistry. So this one was, so they have it at Ulta right now, and I think it's in store too. So they've had it for a while. Um, and it's, yeah, this is one of the more basic ones. And with this one, they also had, it's artistry and I forgot what the other one's called, but the other one's pretty neutral. And I think it's more cool. According to the pictures, it looks more cool. So we'll see how that one goes. But this one has the two rows of neutrals, and then you've got greens and blue. Is that green? Yes. I'm looking at it backwards. Greens and blues, and these like orangey colors, and then a silver and a black up here. And there's a matte and a shimmer matte, shimmer matte, shimmer matte, shimmer for all of those. And same up at the top, there's 4 mattes and 4 shimmers. So it's a pretty good ratio there. But this is just really beautiful. The same formula as their other ones. Highly recommended. If you're not way into the colors of the main stage one, then get this because it's so great and basic and isn't just a neutral palette, but has those little bits of color in it. But the very, very workable color. Those blues are like really, I mean, super brilliant, gorgeous, just absolutely gorgeous. I will hopefully have a couple looks on this. This to me is very much a summer going into fall sort of, or even winter. This might even be a winter palette because it's quite cool with the blues and the, yeah, I'd say, well, then there's not orange. That orange is more, I don't know, it could be fall or winter. So I got that. But then what I'm doing is like trying to get the $15 because for the $15 you get $3.50 off. Plus you get the rack of 10, which is only like 2%, but still, that's something that comes back 20 cents or whatever on a $15. And then I pick them up so that I don't have to pay for shipping and because it's like a mile away from my house. And I'm going by there anyhow, so may as well run in for that. And then I did another order and I got these because I just felt like spending money. Really, that's the truth. But I have been wanting this Juvia's Place. If you have looked at my stories at all, I've been wanting this Juvia's Place eyeliner. These are the new ones. So Juvia's Place has been coming out with a bunch of stuff. I love their palettes. I love their palettes. But this is their eyeliner. It is so beautiful. This is the bright blue one. So I think they have a brown, a black, a navy, and a bright blue. So I got the bright blue one. I would like to get the navy one too, and probably the brown. I don't know if I need the black one, but I did put this in my waterline, and it's still there after a nap, which is kind of cool. And it's been there for, oh boy, it's 10 o'clock. I probably put it on around noon because I picked these up this morning. So yeah, something like that. So this is great. I mean, this company is so good anyhow, but they have the eye primers now that I'm really curious about. I don't know how those will work for me, but wondering if they'll work for like a cut crease sort of situation. I don't know. But this is the one I just got. It's supposed to be really good. I have not used it yet, but I used it just testing it on my hand. So this is again LA Girl. And they're quite a good company. I have these palettes from it. So that's the white. So it is quite white. And it goes on pretty creamy. I have one that is somewhat similar. This is the AOA Studio. And this is just a very very flesh toned. I mean, this is basically my skin color. And I like to use this in my waterline because it's just, excuse me, it takes some of the white, I'm sorry, the red out of it without looking super white in the waterline. So, but this, I dabbed on some of these colors over the top of it, especially the shimmers kind of, hold their own anyhow, but the mattes, and it was astonishing how when they got to the primer, they just grabbed on and were so brilliant. And off the primer, they were just kind of dull and dusting away. So, I mean, not that they're bad at all because they definitely swatch beautifully, and I'm excited to try them on my eyes. But I will be interested to try this and see how this works. Because even though I do have right now 2 eye primers, and I have another one coming. Spoiler alert, in my Ipsy. So Ipsy tells you what you're getting, but BoxyCharm doesn't. But BoxyCharm has other spoilers. I really hope that I get the Natasha Denona palette, and I want the colorful one. I'm being particular, but I hope I get the colorful one. We'll see. Anyway, but I have 2 eye primers. I have one from Essence and I have one from Milani. The Essence one is, I was having some trouble with it creasing, but I think I was just using too much. Now that I'm using a little bit less, it seems to be working a little bit better. So it might actually be pretty good. But the Milani I quite like. My go-to has been e.l.f., but that one's empty now. So that is in my little bag of empties that at some point I'll go through and let you guys know, hey, this is what I've gone through in the last several months or whatever. Once that gets full, it's just a little Sephora bag, one of the little mini Sephora bags. And once that gets full, then we'll review it and talk about if I would repurchase. The e.l.f. one, spoiler alert again, I would repurchase that. Anyway, in my Ipsy, I'm getting a ABH primer. So I thought that would be fun to try. That one has a lot of really good reviews, and people like that one quite a bit. But this will be a little bit different sort of primer. And I'm not sure exactly how I'll use it. It's more creamy than this one from AOA Studio. So I think this one will work a little bit easier for like cut creases. But cut creases just look so weird on me because, people are like, well, this is how you do it on hooded eyes. And they show like how to go above. But my eyes aren't just hooded, they're folded. So, and I don't know how much you can see that. Let me take my glasses off. So when I'm looking up or I'm looking straight at the camera, you can see there's no lid space because the top lid has literally folded over. It's almost like I have Asian eyes, the typical, the stereotypical Asian eyes, East Asian eyes, without the benefit of having that great eyelid space. So if you have folded Asian eyes, your mobile lid is just usually covered, like it's usually not there. With me, I can really show quite a bit of it, but then the rest, the big flap on the top just goes and hides the whole thing. So I get so jealous. I see Asian girls like that have the stereotypical, again. I mean, I don't, I'm not PC, so whatever. What if it offends somebody to talk about, the stereotypical Asian eyes? That's just so be it, because there's, you know what I'm talking about, right? That they have all of this lid space and they can do such cool designs, and I get so jealous because I'm like, I've got this just fold. It's not hooded. It's not, like a small mobile lid. It's just this huge fold that cuts the whole thing in half. So it just looks silly to try to do a cut crease because it's so obvious that it's not. But anyway, we'll see how that one works. I do use a lot of shimmer. Even though people say you're not supposed to use shimmer after 35, forget that. Anyway, that was my Ulta stuff. But yeah, I got the coupon, and then I got the Rakuten, which is the extra little percentage off. But then like I said, they had the next thing today, and I was like, maybe. And then I was like, no, Priscilla, control yourself. You have splurged enough lately. Let's talk about Zenni. So I have found that on these, it's interesting when I do these, people will pop in and whatnot, and then sometimes they'll hang out. They'll hang out with me. Um, but usually people come and go and whatnot. So, um, but the ones that get the best views are the ones that I'm talking about glasses on. Now I'm going to talk about what I'm going to talk about because I figure if I'm going to do this, I'm going to eventually attract the people that want to be in like want to see these kinds of videos and participate in these. If you don't like, I mean, you don't have to like all the stuff that I like, but come and talk to me. So whatever. I like eyeglasses because I do wear prescription eyeglasses, and I have always liked Hello Jiru 7101. Um, so you snuck in here, I didn't see you. I have always liked to have like fun, interesting glasses to wear to kind of like change up my wardrobe and whatnot. So I got 6 pairs, and this is actually ratshidu.ciu. Hello. It's funny to me when people request to be in my live. Why would you want to be in my live video? I don't understand why you would request that. That's a strange thing. You don't know me. You're not even sure what we're talking about. You just came on and said, "No, I'm going to request to be in my live video." Okay, cool. All right. So anyway, I went in and I got 6 pairs of glasses, and this was like $117, I think. So it was one of my more expensive hauls, but that's because I got some more expensive ones. So let's talk about what I got. My theme for this is spring because we are in spring, and so I wanted to get some fun new spring glasses. So okay, let's start with the purple ones because I love purple. So you guys know, if you've been around here at all, I love me some purple. Aren't they cute? So these are some translucent purple. These are, I think all of the ones that are like plasticky are, what do they call this stuff? It's not plastic. Yeah, I'll think about it in a second. Um, anyway, they have this really pretty tortoise on the side that's like brown and blue, this is the thing that really sold me on it. I just thought that was such a cool touch on the side. I really like when you have like different colored, and this has been pretty popular for a while. I don't know if it's as popular right now. I'm not sure, but it doesn't really matter because I think if they're cute, you can rock them. They're all good. I think that they're pretty timeless. I mean, they're purple. You can wear purple all the time. Now, these ones, there are a few pairs here that are a little stiff around the temples here, and I feel like I could pull these out a little bit. You can see how they go in, and they don't have a lot of give. Some have more give than others, but these don't have a lot of give. But this is what they look like. So they are like a rounded square shape, and really, really, really cute. I like these so much. I'm gonna have so much fun styling these and being like, those are my new purple glasses. I don't have anything in this color. I have something that's a brighter purple. That's like a bright purple cat eye. I have the ones that I showed you last time that were like those little square, that are like, what do they call them? Orchid purple that have the pink on the side. And I've got like some more subtle purple, but those are probably the most springy. Well, those and the orchid ones are probably the most springy purple ones I've got. So, my second favorite color at all, like total, not it. Like my second favorite color is green. These ones are purple and green, which is kind of fun. Why are people still talking about James Charles? Isn't he completely irrelevant now? Like, it, new topic. I just had an alert come up. You probably heard that. These are so dirty. Oh my goodness, I just need to clean those. I've got like little hair marks all over them. Anyway, I got these. I have another pair that's just like these that I got from, I buy direct. That's where I got them from. But they're just the metal. These have the green on the top. So you see, they've got, it's basically the same green as this. It's like, well, it's a little bit more green, true green than this one. I would say it's actually, well, it's hard because it's such a small amount. You can't really tell like what, maybe it is more true green with a little bit more blue. I don't know. I like it. Whatever it is, I like it. These ones are really comfortable. They're quite flexible because they're wired and there's not much to them. They're really basic. So these are the kind, if you want a splash of color on your glasses, but you want to keep things really, professional and not have people looking at you and saying, "Oh, look at their bright colored glasses," like the purple ones. Then you can look at these and be, these are just one of those. It's like having colored liner, like having a nude eye and having colored liner in your waterline. I think it's kind of the same thing, but they're really cute. I love this green on here. I think it's so pretty. Um, yeah, they're just really subtle, but really, really pretty. So subtle is not generally me, but sometimes I do want something that's on the subtle side. So those are cool for that particular purpose. Now these are, you'll see me going, huh? Like looking to see what's going on because I can't see without my glasses. So yellow has been the color for a while. It was mustard, which I got the handbag that was mustard. Yellow is not a great color on me. I think I've mentioned that before, but I do like to have like accessories that are yellow. Nail polish, handbags, a belt, shoes, something like that. But I decided to get these glasses. These are a sunshine yellow. And you can see it doesn't really, I think that it kind of, it washes me out a little bit, but that means I just adjust the makeup that I wear with this. So I just, if I wasn't going to wear any makeup, these probably would not be super great for me to wear. I also have problems with like yellow eyeshadows. I have ambitions for them, but when I put them on my face, I'm like, not nearly as good as I thought it might be. But, it's all good. They're so cute. But this is like more like a sunshine yellow or, yeah, sunbeam yellow. I don't know, like middle of the day yellow. This is not a sunset yellow. This is the middle of the day, bright sun yellow. They're so pretty. I love that color. Whether or not they look good on me, I don't know. All right. Now, one of the reasons that I did this is because I needed to get some actual sunglasses in my life. But again, I love purple, so we had to go with these ones. So let me show you this. So these are just real classic, rounded with a little bit of a horn rim. Back in the day, they call it that. These ones do have a spring hinge. It's a little bit more bougie. These were $35, so they're the most expensive Zenni glasses I've ever bought, period. But they've got a purple tortoise, purple and cream, and then like a gray. These are really beautiful, I think. Again, another one that has the color but isn't like in your face color. And I think that might be, well, it's not really the theme of this because I guess the yellow ones and the purple ones, those are both kind of a little bit out. They're not out there necessarily, but they're just like clearly colorful. So anyway, but the cool thing about these ones is I wouldn't pay $35 necessarily for them the way they are, but this is the cool thing about these. So you've got this little snap on, and it literally just snaps on. So there's a magnet on either side, and this is metal. So now they've become, instead of just a round pair of glasses, now they're aviators. So we've changed the style, the shape, whatnot. Now I'm really cool. I wish they had like a little sleeve, like a little vinyl, faux leather, fake leather, or cardboard sleeve to, that had like something like this on the inside that you can just kind of slip them in. because when you're traveling, like, what do I put these in? So I'm probably going to end up just wrapping them in this cloth. They of course come with a cloth. They also gave me the little PD measures for each pair, which I think is such a dumb freebie. Like they're like, hey, we give you a free gift. I don't need that. Hi, Gigi. Gigi Mia 58. Nice to see you. I'm talking about glasses um, right now at this moment. So anyway, so yeah, this is pretty exciting. I'm really excited to have like actual sunglasses. The other ones that I had, think I showed you the little clip-on that goes on them. But these are way more exciting. You see, they just pick up like that. Super easy. Kind of cool. I think the convenience of them is quite cool. I meant to get like transition lenses, and I have never managed to do that. Because I don't know, I feel like going into a building is just it's easier to just take off that magnet thing or take off the little clippy thing than wait for them to change. I don't know. But then I also got these, and these are fashion. So these are fashion tinted. I have three other fashion tinted glasses from Zenni, and I'm working through. And it's interesting because generally reds and pinks are the best colors on me, and those are the ones that I don't have. They have like a rose tone and a fuchsia and a red, and I don't have any of those. And they also have blue. I don't have any of those, but I have purple, which I also love on me, gray, the amber. Now I have yellow and green. So the gray and yellow trend, I thought I'd try it in glasses. So I've got these. I don't know if these look too much like work goggles or what, but I thought they'd be kind of cute. So I've got the gray here. I have some like this that are quite a bit bigger, but they're quite similar to the thickness and the color and whatnot of this gray. And I thought it would be kind of fun to get these in the tint. Now these ones are stiff, and they are there's a little bit more pressure on my temples, but I really like these. I think they're so cute. I don't know, they look a little bit like grandpa glasses, like when grandpa gets his back in the day, this is what they look like. They look like back in the day when people were getting the um what's it called? Transition lenses. People were getting the transition lenses and they didn't transition all the way. They just kind of looked yellow all the time. That's what they look like. Or when grandpa gets the little protection on his eyes. Or grandma. But they're cute. I like them. I think they're very cool. I don't know if I got them in the right style or whatnot, but I'm gonna enjoy using them. And then I guess I'm gonna have to look up and just be careful because I guess using these when it's really bright out, not a good idea because of the color of them. These ones, however, shouldn't hurt my eyes. They might do the slightest amount of just shading, but there's not protection on these. But I love these ones. Oh my goodness. And actually they look cute with the shirt too. So they are gold and they've got this fun little thing on the side. Like a little vintage sort of twist here. Let me put them up so you can see that a little bit. And yeah, they're just really basic standard. And then I got green tint on them, which I still like. I've had these in my cart for a while. These last two pairs were $6.95, and then the tint was like $4 something, so they were $11.90, I think, total. Score for me. Yeah, I'm digging these. I think they're going to be so fun to put in the rotation. So those 6 will be added to my spring rotation. And I just started doing that where I started to do the rotation because I've got so many of them. I'm like, may as well do it that way, right? So yeah, talking about new beginnings, and I was actually thinking about this healthy at any size sort of thing. Actually, this is an example. So new beginnings and healthy at any size, kind of this topic that I keep coming back to, kind of just dipping my big toe into, because I think it's really interesting. But I don't have everything worked out. I have to think through what I'm thinking, and I'm really curious what you guys have to say. So if you're watching this after the fact, after the live stream, or you pop in here at some point, then send me a little message and be like, "This is what I think about that," because I'm really curious. And I think that it's really important. Um, Relationally healthy. I'm trying to scoot my chair forward. It's not working. Okay. I got this little pad on the bottom that I don't want it to go on. So relationally healthy is really important too. And I think that we become really unhealthy when we shelter ourselves from anything that doesn't feel comfortable. And so there's this thing like I've got to cancel people, I've got to unfriend people, I've got to, you know, get people out of my life if they're not exactly the way I want them to be. So if I get any resistance from them, if I don't agree with everything about them, if I am politically not aligned with them, which is just so dangerous and so unhealthy because we need to have abrasion, we need to have conflict in order to remain strong, and we're trying to get rid of all the conflict. So we have like prescription drugs that anytime we feel any bit of instability in our life or we feel any sort of tension, any sort of anything, we take a pill for that. And that's really unhealthy because we're supposed to know how to balance that. And the only way to know how to balance that is to encounter it and to go through it. And that's why even when I have been, and and I'm not giving um, necessarily advice on this, I'm just saying from my perspective, even when I have been extremely depressed, and it was for chemical reasons because it was related to my PCOS. It wasn't like, it was just me going through something. It was like a pretty serious depression. Even in those situations, I never wanted to take medicine because my thought is if I need medicine to deal with this, then I'm never going to be able to balance myself. And that's always been a fear of mine. So I think that we have to make sure that we are letting ourselves be challenged. I was talking to somebody about books that I like to read. I love to read books that are contrary to my opinion. I also like to read books that agree with my opinion, but I like to read books that are from a different perspective because that's what makes me stronger and that's what makes me reinforce my own thinking. If my ideas can't stand up against the opposite idea, my ideas are weak. If I have to block somebody because they don't agree with my idea is weak because I should be able to engage in conversation without being overly emotional. We get overly emotional when we don't have control or we don't fully understand our position, or we don't feel like we can defend our position. That's when we get defensive. Or when we anticipate that somebody is going to come at us with something that we're not expecting. So I try to engage in those conversations. It doesn't do real well on social media because the whole world is like against confrontation, any sort of confrontation. If you do not agree with me 100% on my politics, on my social standing, on my religious perspective, any of that sort of thing, we can have no relationship with each other. And that is so unhealthy. So, speaking of healthy at any size, it goes with relational health too. So, make sure that you're not blocking people out of your life prematurely. I would really hesitate to block just about anybody. In fact, there was one situation where I blocked somebody out of my life, and it was a temporary situation. I didn't know it would be temporary, but this person had really overstepped boundaries. Somebody I really cared about, really care about. They really overstepped boundaries, and I felt they had kind of more or less betrayed me. Maybe not intentionally, but because of their addiction, had betrayed me. And I basically said, "We're done. Can't have anything to do with this anymore. I'm done talking to you. I don't want you to have anything to do with you." And for several years, I didn't talk to them. And then I talked to a mutual friend, and this mutual friend said, "This person's been clean now, basically since that moment that you said we're done." And so it took that for me to just be like, I can't have anything to do with it. And it doesn't have to do with you. And this is the thing, I talk to my nieces about this a lot. If you're in a relationship and you say, I'm going to do this, whatever you're doing can't be for a punishment for the other person because that's not your job. Your job is not to punish somebody. I'm going to punish you by writing you off. I'm going to punish you by unfriending you. I'm going to punish you by, you know, um, giving you the cold shoulder or whatnot. If you do that, then that's unhealthy for you. But instead, if you say, in my situation, not that I've always done it correctly, certainly I'm not. But in this situation, I said, I can't. I can't do this anymore. I can't take the 3 a.m. calls. I can't take the unpredictable actions, when you're inebriated. I can't deal with this anymore. You are not in that relationship that, you are a friend of mine. I care about you, but I cannot deal with that anymore because my life needs to move into, where my life needs to move into. And this is not um, conducive to that action. So that's where I think you really have to make the difference. Sometimes new beginnings can include, cutting some people off, but I think we have to be really careful about just cutting people off. Make sure that when we're cutting people off, that it's because we need it for our own survival, and it's not a matter of trying to control them or force them to do something, or even thumbing our noses at them and saying, see, we have shown you that we're superior than you because we unfriended you before you could unfriend us. That's very childish, and it shows a definite weakness in our own thinking. So, I'm just checking. I gotta say, okay. Good. So, yeah, and so I was thinking too, just kind of about health and how that relates to relationships too. But um, then I'm also thinking about, another thing I was thinking about is like with dieting, there's or let's say not dieting, weight loss. I think it's really important to understand that we individuals, and this is where I think the healthy at any size, BOPO, anti-BOPO, all these colliding ideas. Again, the same sort of thing that sometimes when I put BOPO on something, people are like, "Oh, you're going to be one of those people," and I'm not necessarily, because I look at things from a very much more rounded, um, I can see both perspectives on it. And the important thing to remember is that I know that I have an ideal size for myself, that is an optimal size for myself. My optimal size has never been and will never be a size 6 or even a size 10 or 12. That's just not it. It's not going to happen. I don't want it to happen. I don't need it to happen. I'm okay with that because my objective to be in an optimal size is simply so that I can live the best life possible, that I can be as mobile and as active as possible um, in my body. So my body serves me. I don't serve my body. And I think that's the important thing about BOPO is that um, I'm not here for my body. I'm not I'm not identified by my body. I'm not My identity as a person is not in being fat, short, female, any of those kinds of things. Dark-haired, Caucasian, none of those physical traits have anything to do with who I am as a person. They have nothing to do with who I am as a person. And that's what we're trying to break down and say. It doesn't matter. It literally doesn't matter. If somebody is enormous, if somebody is, minuscule, it doesn't matter. If they're brilliant, then one of the most, brilliant professors I ever had was a very large woman. And it was interesting. She was 5 years older than me, looked, a lot older than me. And I respected her so much. I mean, I was older when I went to the university. So I was 35 and she was 40, I think, something like that, because I was 30 when I went into started my undergrad. And so I mean, just brilliant. But she would get, passed over. Hi, welcome. We have Supama. So sometimes your Instagram names are like, how do I read that? But anyway, this woman would get passed over just because of her weight, and she was brilliantly talented, classical singer, and but I also would get passed over because of my weight and because of other things, which we'll talk about. I'm kind of putting my thoughts together on a bunch of stuff. So I think it's going to be interesting. I'm really curious about these conversations because I see people coming in every once in a while and watching them, and I'm like, maybe I should cut them up into more, concise sort of things, which I have not done. And I'm also like, maybe I should just have one theme per live. But I'm like, I like this conversation where we kind of jump around and we're like, it's a little rabbit trailing. if you guys come in and ask me a question, I'm going to be like, yeah, cool. Let's talk about that within reason. I mean, staying mostly on topic, but yeah, so I kind of like this format. I guess that's just me. I have a very scattered, rabbit traily brain, spaghetti assertive brain. So I don't know. Um, we'll see how it works. But I see it's interesting as people go back and watch these. I'm like, I fancy this being kind of a running journal of my thoughts and my development. So that's kind of what I do this for. Is I'm like, I can go back and look at this, in a year or 2 or 3 or whatever, and say, wow, I was thinking that's interesting. That's an interesting concept. So, but the idea of dieting is that I know, like, okay, so for example, if I know, and not dieting because I don't like diet culture, right? But we can do certain things we know that will help us to change our body. And we can look back and say, okay, when this happened, my body changed. And so if I want it to change back, or if I want it to change more that way, I can alter things based on that. And one of the things for me that I know is when I was in Haiti, for a period of time, I cut out sugar completely. And I ate anything else I wanted. I ate French fries. I ate, I mean, you can't get that very often in Haiti anyhow, but they use a lot of oil in their cooking in Haiti. Um, and basically anything else, but I cut out sugar almost completely, sugar, including like pasta and bread. But so I guess I cut out wheat too. I guess it was sugar and wheat. Um, and I just dropped a bunch of weight. And it was interesting because, I was like this size when I married my husband. And then his family started getting so worried and like, is she sick? Is she okay? You got to take her to the hospital. And I was like, the reaction you would have in the United States would be like, oh, you look so great. You look so wonderful. No matter what, if you lose weight in the United States, you look great, even if you don't actually look great. Adele, unpopular opinion, she looked way better when she was bigger. Just saying. There's a lot of people that I have seen and they've lost weight, and I'm like, they don't fit their body. Like their body is just weird and awkward. Like, yeah, a lot of people when they lose weight, it doesn't look right. But we're so in this idea that that's what you got to do anyway. But I just think that you can take control of your body, and just because you are body positive does not mean that you can't say, okay, I'm going to do this thing in order to make sure that my body can get to this point. It's your body. You can change your body however you need it to be for it to be optimized for you. So that it works for you, because your body it is not you, it is a vehicle for you. And so make sure that it's running at its optimal performance. That's the whole idea. And that does not limit you to a size. That's all on you. And just because you see somebody and they're very large does not mean that they're not doing that. That's an important thing. I go to the club now, the gym. Sorry, in Haiti they call it the club. I go to the gym now, and it is 70% obese people. I mean, the majority of people I know who exercise on a regular basis are not skinny, are not thin, are not, the people who are thin that I know, they don't exercise. They don't think about it. It's not on their mind. So I feel like we've gone through this complete change where now bigger people are more active and, making a greater conscious effort. And I think part of that has come because the BOPO conversation and the BOPO thinking has helped us to open that up. So anyway, one more thing I wanted to talk about has nothing to do with BOPO, but it's fun. That is this. I got this Ofra Samantha March collab, and I actually got the whole thing. So Samantha March is somebody that I enjoy watching. I think she's fun. I like to watch several different YouTubers that do beauty YouTube and whatnot. And she did a Ofra collab with making a highlighter, and I think highlighter and bronzer. Was that what it was before? One of these is new. I don't remember which one. I know she had the highlighter. I think it was highlighter and bronzer that she had before. That was the half and half pan. with Ofra, and she just came out with this. And it was purple, and I was like, I've got to do this. So she has this face palette. It's the first Ofra thing I've ever bought in my life. There's no mirror on this, so I could just hold it up like this. But it's mauve cool tone ish, but it's not completely cool tone. It does have, it's kind of more of a neutral. Then there's the face palette. So there's a blush, a highlight, and a bronzer here. And I understand, I thought this bronzer was a matte, but it's got shimmer to it. So I don't understand that if it's an overspray or what, but I guess we'll get to that. And then she had these three. Apparently this was her original one from her last collab, and then she added these two here. So these are lippies, lip glosses. These make me mad because you can't really wear these. I wear them anyhow, and I'm just like, I'm gonna wear this anyhow. And I put my mask on and I smear it all over my face, and then it's all dry and I have to reapply. So annoying. Masking drives me nuts. Just absolutely drives me nuts. But such is life, right? Anyway, I got this collab, and so it was $39 for the palette, which is a lot of money and usually outside my range. And then these were $29 for the three, and I'm like, that's kind of expensive. But then you put them together, and they were $59 together. Right? It's 39. So anyway, it was $10 off. Whatever the original price, if I get them separately, it was $10 off. And so I was like, well, okay, that's a little bit better. And then Samantha March has a discount that's 20% off of that. I'm like, okay, now we're getting to something that actually makes sense. Well, then of course they always have like free shipping at this point, and I think it was $50 or something like that. But then they also had a free gift if you order over a certain amount. So I got this little lippy here. And these are lippies. I used the pink one that I'm going to show you in a second here, and they don't dry down completely. And I'm not sure if I like that or not. I kind of do, but they're a little sticky. I don't know. I like the color on this. It's a brown sort of nudie sort of color. It doesn't look like it's going to turn super orange on me. Everything kind of moves orange to me on me. Then I got this, and this definitely moves blue, but I don't mind because I love it. It's so cute. I took some pictures that look really good, but then in certain lighting, I can look washed out with this. So again, I feel like this is one that I definitely need to, bronze up and look, kind of pull the look together. But anyway, I was really excited to get this today in the mail. And they brought this enormous box and so much bubble wrap in it, and I was like, somebody didn't think through the packaging. Ofra, if you're watching this, you need to fix your packaging because that was incredibly wasteful. I mean, it could have been just slightly bigger than the actual presentation box. So they should have thought that through in their packaging plan. So you're going to see some looks on this. I'm really excited about this palette. It's kind of on the neutral side, but it does have these really pretty mauve. I'm going to swatch a few of these for you just so you can see. So that's what they look swatched, just three of them. And I did this darker mauve, and then this like almost rust color, and then this lighter pinky sort of mauve shimmer. The shimmers aren't overly shimmery, which is kind of nice. But they're just really nice and subtle, really, really pretty. So I'm excited to use this and see what all the fuss is about Ofra. So that'll be fun. Anyway, this has been a fun conversation. I'm glad I woke up for it. Actually, I woke up because my husband went to work and he woke me up. But I planned on doing that anyhow. So I'm glad I came in here for you. And please, if you're watching this afterwards, comment, share, like, subscribe, follow. If you are on YouTube, follow me over at IG because that's where I put pictures and content and polls and interaction and all that good stuff. And then we'll do this again Sunday. Hi, raw embers. Ooh, that's fiery name. And so we'll do this again Sunday at 5 Central. Is that when we do it? Yeah. So hopefully you guys will join me for that. And I am excited as always to have you guys join me. So I will see you Then stay beautiful, and I will talk to you later.